Hello there, Scott from Wessex Blades. I'm about to make a start on the double 15-degree bevel on this woodlore clone for a guy called Jay. So I've got my jig sorted out. Now what I want to do is just mention something, because you know I could set myself up and I'm pooling away and you may not catch what I'm doing, why I'm doing, all the rest of it. I've got up in this corner a sort of a clip-on spotlight there, shining light down. I've got this light here shining light down to where I'm working over there, and I've got all these amazing IKEA bulldog clip things up there because Mitchell likes that video light Rob gave me when he's using it all the time. But that little snake neck, swan neck thing is LED. Just flick a little rocker switch, and I'm clipping it on a piece of plywood that's hanging off the roof. So I've got light right where I'm working, right down there. If you can set yourself up next to the window looking across the back garden, it's perfect because you end up with natural light in here. I've got to turn my garage completely around the ass end to get over to the window over the far side. So, you know, it could be April, it could be August till I get around to doing it, but until then, that little IKEA lamp is just making it slightly better again for me to use this in terms of observation and seeing what you're trying to do. Now he's given me, it looks to be, he mentioned he gave a mark, and I think there's a little scratch just there as to where to start the plunge lines. So that first time I go on, like that, and the belt plunges into the blade about there, I'll give it a fair amount, okay, of stock removal. So I've got a clear point to marry it up when I go back the other way. So it was grinding away on this side, so I can line it up and grind away exactly the same spot on the other side. So I end up with the two plunge lines meeting together. The simplest way I come across doing it is you get a nice colour, like a nice colour. Hopefully it'll work. And you put your permanent marker down on the blade edge that you're going to grind away. Now some pen inks aren't that dense, and when you go back over it the second time, all you end up doing is wiping off the first coat. But if you end up with nice, reasonably expensive ones like Sharpies, I find it actually makes it even denser, and give it a chance to dry each time. This just saves you from doing the old engineer's blue, which is a messy bloody system. It's good, but a real good permanent black marker still does the same thing. And then you get one of these, which is a vernier caliper. I did buy a cheap one, but it was 0.1 of a mil out in 0.3 of a mil, 33% accuracy. So all that really is visually checking it and using it as a scribe. So what I'm going to do is measure the thickness of the stock, get an average sort of, and it should be spot on 4 mil. So you use 4 mil stock. What I then do, seeing as it's 4 mil, I slide it to 2, which on these gizmos is, you're looking at the lower scale here. Now if I can go on a macro, we go on to macro, my 2 mil is where the 0 lines up exactly to the 2 mil mark. So there, okay, so the 0 lines up to the 2 mil mark, and none of these along here lines are in line with any other ones. And that's how you get your decimal points of a place of a millimeter. Alright, so I then set that to 2 mil, and I get that absolutely spot on by eye maybe use my lenses, and then lock it off. Okay, so that knurled knot on top, and then I scribe down both sides. Now, why don't I do just one side? Well, it would be 2mm if you did that, but I'm doing this to it. So what happens is you end up with 2 lines a hair's breadth apart. You got that to grind to. It's a visual line, and it's more accurate than the carbide one I made a couple of years ago. So that's given me a center scribe line there, and in a minute I'll get grinding. So once you're up onto your enormous platen of your 1x30, I have plans. I have made a bigger platen in order to make it yay big, but I've got to mount it in such a way as to also get also get a new back plate sorted out. I want the back plate to come up to here, so for the meantime I'm living with the small one. And what I want to do is, when I address the blade to the belt as it whizzes around, I pick the spot where he's marked, which is I think there, and that's where it starts. So this corner of the belt whizzes around and starts eating into there. I'll remove a fair amount. Even, gentle, consistent pull across, and flip it over and do the same corresponding offset from one end of the jig from the other. So there I'm just over the edge there, and I'll flip that over to there. I won't put it this end, because if I go like that, okay, it'll end up hot if I have too much wood. Or if I put it shooting over the edge this way, watch, there's the plan, short that it is. Here's my jig, huge that it is. I'll go there, I'll go, I'll run out of platen, and the blade still hasn't had all the travel it needs on the belt. So you want to give yourself whatever position it's in, that you get all the travel you need of the blade across the belt, and you're still on the platen on both sides. So something like that. So from there to there, I'm off, and I'm still on the platen a fair amount. Again, if you had it like that, I'd have put it here. If I had it like that stuck over, I'd have started there, started about here, gone across, run out of room, dropped off the end of the platen, and I still haven't done all the blade. So let's get my kit on, get sorted. I'll see you in a minute. Nothing like the nerves of the first pass. Now, face onto the belt, as I'm like that. The belt is here to me, right? The ceramic that's hitting my hair, okay, it's hitting the face. You wouldn't believe how much is coming at me, firing at me. I have took the top off of this, okay, because it aids belt removal. But don't even think of doing anything like this without, I mean, that is the seam, but nothing's going to hit my eyes with that in the way, okay? Don't forget, it's in your hair, as you call it, alright? So the first pass hasn't got to be perfect, but there is, okay, the plunge line to start with. I could give it another go, but don't overdo it because you've got to meet at the other side. Other way. This way of the part, it's a nose. Move the start over. Okay, that, okay, is not raging hot. If you had an aluminium oxide belt, which looks the same colour as these ceramic belts, that sort of burgundy terracotta look, okay, it's going to run a lot hotter on aluminium oxide. You can tell aluminium oxide because they're like 30p a belt. These buggers are about £2 a belt. This eats the steel 5 times faster and it keeps it far cooler. I know I can do a couple of passes and I'm not too bad, but when that starts getting thinner, don't take a chance. You do one pass, it goes in the water. Do another pass, it goes in the water, because you're not worried about the heat of this. You're worried about the heat of that edge as it's getting thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner. You can't take a chance. Now, the fact that it's not been heat treated yet doesn't really matter, but you don't want to mess up the molecular gizmos that's going on in there before you even heat treat it. Don't start burning the stuff before you get there. Okay, getting the discipline of knowing how hot you're doing it, whether you're using ceramic belts or ali oxide or zirconia. The first couple of passes, when you start with flat stop, you'll get away with a good chew, alright? But as soon as you start approaching the bevels, getting the meat, do one pass and make sure you know where you are. It might be every time you do it, you dunk it in water just to cool it down. So I'm going to carry on now and get these two just meet, but not quite, because he's got to do a heat treat yet, alright? So just like that, and I'm going to put it on a finer belt. I don't want to leave huge great scratches. I want to leave a nice sort of coming, because he's going to have to end up getting the scale out of all those machinery marks. which means you'll have to go to a coarse belt in order to get them out. So I'm gonna maybe 2 more passes on the coarse 40 grit I think I got, and I'll go to a 120 and finish them off for them and get them as nice and as even as possible, because it'll be a lot slower using the 120s. See you in a bit. So what I'm checking is I've got the same rise on both sides. So that side is 8mm, that side is 8mm. So I've got the same angle on both sides of the blade. Enough way to check we're in the middle. And I still got they ain't quite met yet. So what I'm going to do now is just take most of the machining marks of the 40 grit off. So basically taking the tops of the mountains off, leaving the valleys. Okay, that's not an edge on there. Okay, I haven't gone to an edge. That's going to be heat treated. Okay, so you should still see a line when you go like that and glints in the light. You haven't quite met. Alright, now some people say 1mm on something like this. Don't go to a razor edge and then heat treat it. You're going to mess up how it's going to do it. So there's that for him. See, this isn't going to cut at all. Okay, it's not a blade. It's pre-ground for heat treat. That's cool. So you should see that looks quite even. Doesn't look coarse, okay, because the 120's just knocked the tops off of the way that it was ground. So, pack that up. Vague little walkthrough for you. I enjoyed that. So that's how to put bevels on your Scandi Grind knife. Pre-heat treat. So next one. So as you can see, I haven't met an edge yet. Okay, that's like 1/2 mil. But I haven't let them meet. And that should be straight as a die. Come on, silly camera. No, that's not going to do it. Straight as a die. Right, so it was all packed up, ready to go for Jay. But I thought that was a lovely little space just there to fit that in. You have the bevel jig as well, because it ain't much use trying to grind it. I should got a jig 8. Right. So next one.